There was a planned gangland shooting last night near Corduff shopping center. We have all the details here today. We're going to run through it. It's absolutely crazy that there's gangland shootings now thrown into the mix of crime that's happening every single day in Ireland. It says man suffers gunshot wound in which Gardaí believe was a planned attack. Which again, that's first degree attack, trying to kill the guy. This was a planned attack. Everyone that knows, gangs in Dublin, there's been feuds on and off for many, many years. We have a massive mix of crime now in Dublin. It says Gardaí working on theory the victim and close associate were chased by gunmen for a time in Corduff. So he was chased, whether it be in the shopping center or down the road outside a Chinese restaurant apparently. It's crazy stuff. It says, Gardaí are working on the theory of the victim and a close associate chased by gunmen in the time of Corduff area at Dublin 15, with shots discharged and the victim wounded near a fast food outlet on Black Court Avenue, apparently a Chinese restaurant outside Black Court Avenue. The attack at about 4:40 p.m., literally the middle of the day, guys, broad daylight, triggered a rapid and large-scale response by the emergency services. Gardaí turned out in large numbers in the area, which has been the scene of local feuding in recent years. Of course, you can't just have regular Gardaí show up to this. And this is what I'm talking about in all my videos. Okay, you have to have the emergency response unit with guns. Okay, you have to have the detectives with guns, because you can't apprehend a criminal. You can't arrest a criminal if the criminal has a gun and you only have a baton. That means that the Gardaí is going to get shot and killed if he tries to arrest that man. Okay. Says Gardaí suspect the attackers are associated with Jason Hennessy Sr., 48-year-old, a father of 7 and grandfather of 10 from Corduff. He died in the Mater Hospital, Dublin on January 4th, 2024, that was last year, after being wounded in Brown's Steakhouse in Blanche on Christmas Eve 2023. So these feuds go back a long time. The victim of Tuesday's shooting is well known to Gardaí and has dozens of previous criminal convictions, many for offences linked to substance abuse. He has spent time in prison. And we're going to go into the convicted criminal. It just got released a few hours ago. We actually have the full report here as well. Gardaí said an investigation was underway into the shooting near Corduff Shopping Centre. Crazy stuff, guys. The scene is currently being held and technical examination is underway. No arrests have been made and inquiries are ongoing. Okay, so no arrests have been made, guys. It's been a day and no arrests. Hopefully they have some inquiries and some leads that are actually going to help them arrest these criminals. But normally when it comes to this gangland violence, they're just shooting, going crazy and then running away, and it's wild. This kind of stuff is absolutely crazy. They're asking for footage of anyone in the area between 4:20 and 5:20. The attack comes after several years in which gun crimes, including gangland murders, have been low. So gun crimes have been low in Ireland, but the knife crime has gone through the roof. We all know I have videos of stabbings and attempted stabbings every single day. It's absolutely crazy. The gun murder rate in Dublin, where most of the fatal shootings have been committed in recent decades, has fallen since the period of the Kinahan-Hutch feud. Yeah, the Kinahan-Hutch feud obviously was a massive feud, gangland, drug feud. People were getting shot and killed in broad daylight, just outside their car, in the car park, like just crazy stuff. That was absolutely insane. So we don't want that to be happening again, but it seems like we could almost be on the brink of that. We're not immune to these attacks, guys. We're not immune to these feuds starting up again, so hopefully it doesn't. Especially, they're all drug related, bringing in drugs and, all that kind of stuff, cocaine and weed into the country. I'm not sure what drugs they are, but like I said, I want to eradicate all crime, not just I-Pass center crime, not just 13 to 17-year-old crazy teenagers running around inner city Dublin, beating the hell out of tourists and stuff like that. I also want to get rid of gang crime, guys. I think all crime should be eradicated from the country, and it could happen very, very easily, guys. But the government do not care about the safety of the random people. Okay, they do not care about the safety of our own people. Now, if someone was to get hit or killed that isn't part of a gang, that is on the government. That is on the government. That's bloodshed that shouldn't have happened. Okay, crazy stuff. So here is the convicted criminal injured in the Dublin shooting, named as Joseph Joey Morgan. He was shot once in the armpit and was discharged from hospital late last night. So getting shot in the armpit is pretty dangerous. It's right next to your heart. The bullet can ricochet in your rib cage. You know, it's very dangerous, guys. Getting shot anywhere is pretty dangerous, and stabbed. I mean, you're not going to die necessarily from getting shot in your arm or shot in your leg from a gunshot. You know, people get shot all the time in their arms and legs, but in your body, like your armpit, your chest area, you know, somewhere, your head, obviously, very, very serious, guys. You know, your chest and head, you know, you can die very quickly. So he's kind of lucky on that one. It says Morgan was treated for non-life-threatening injuries after he was chased down a laneway close to his Corduff home when he was targeted by a gunman. So they literally put hits out on people. This is a hitman job. Like, this is scary stuff, guys. Like, they're putting hits out on people now. You know, you could get, you know, caught up in a gangland shooting. Try and distinguish yourself very, very clearly from other people, guys. You know, because there might be a mistaken identity and you might get killed because someone might have thought that you did something, you committed some crime, when in reality, you weren't part of it whatsoever. You know, there's so many different things that could go wrong with this. It's crazy. So this was an article then from yesterday. It said the incident happened at the Corduff shopping center at Blackcourt Avenue. So the man was obviously running around the shopping center, shopping, you know, doing his day-to-day activities. And these men or man jumped out and shot him in the armpit, tried to kill him. And he got away. He literally got away, guys. Pretty lucky to have gotten away. I mean, you know, it's just crazy that we're not talking about another dead gangland member. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, hopefully the Gardaí crack down on this stuff. I don't know, do they have enough resources to crack down on gangland violence? But this is the real violence that people fear. You know, when we're talking about IPAS centers, that's terrible crime, of course. We fear that, absolutely. The random people, attacks. But the gangland violence getting out of control, you know, like something out of Batman, some sort of Gotham City, you know, sort of crazy, you know, villains run the city type of situation. That is also a very real threat, guys. Like, we need to assess all threats in this country and, you know, handle them accordingly. The police should be absolutely cracking down on this. So if anyone else has any information, leave it in the comment section down below. You know, I truly think that, you know, these guys, you know, if they were given a better chance at life or whatever, they could turn it around. I don't think that these guys are lost in the system. You know, maybe they're trying to get away out of the gangland stuff. So yeah, hopefully, you know, the guy is okay. But this gangland violence is going to keep happening until the state addresses it. You know, until somebody comes out and addresses that, you know, these aren't, this isn't the way Irish people should be living in this country. You know, because it affects everyone, guys. You know, some kid could get shot in the crossfire. You know, there's crossfire sometimes. There's flipping whatever. You know, it's just absolutely crazy. But yeah, if you want to support me, hit the join link underneath the video, guys, because, you know, you will not hear these news stories on the mainstream news. You'll just hear what actually happened. You won't hear them talking about how we have to crack down on violence. All violence should be eradicated from the city. So yeah, only for €3 per month. Support me. We have 20 members now. I love you all. I'll see you all in the next one, guys. Peace.